Concrete. It's for more than just building buildings and roads and the entire infrastructure of the planet Earth for the last 2,000 years. It's also a really viable vessel for fermenting and aging wine. And you know, it's so funny. Let's trace this back 100 years. I got, it's a 1-minute story for you. It was really interesting in my travels. I've been to Australia, I've been to Spain, I've been to, a lot of places. And the old kind of beat up cooperative wineries, or the wineries that have been around for 100 years or whatever, had these big old concrete vats. And the new world of wine was instantly like, concrete, oh, who would use concrete? You have all this technology, you have stainless steel, you have individual barrel fermentation and fancy tar and soap barrels, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Why the hell would you use concrete? Well, the previous generation kind of knew that concrete is brilliant. It controls temperature, it conveys terroir, does not impart any characters to the wine. It is one of the purest forms of fermentation and aging you can possibly have in the world of wine. Now, fast forward 20 years later, people are like, oh yeah, concrete, I totally did concrete. Yeah, no, some of my best friends are doing concrete fermentation, and concrete's amazing, and concrete's remarkable. Yeah. Who would be so silly as not to do concrete, right? And the whole time they're going like, I used to do brand new barrels, and well, okay, that was an idiot maneuver, okay, whatever. And, bless their hearts, a lot of places in the world are finally discovering that concrete is an amazing vessel for wine. Accordingly, we're seeing it in many, many, many great new exciting dynamic wines. Less is more. Brilliant. Including the Zuccardis, which the whole thing with Sebastian Zuccardi and the Zuccardi family in Argentina, they want to create the new Argentine wine. They're experimenting, they're pushing forward, they're doing things that a lot of other producers around the world aren't doing. Although, to Argentina's credit, Mendoza's credit, a few are working in this level right now, like Zorzal and the Catenas are doing stuff, and Riccitelli and all these guys, Las Hormigas, all these guys are really trying to experiment. And what they're trying to do is create a distinctive Malbec. They want terroir. They want a sense of place. Just like the Napa Valley wants a sense of place. And realistically, the Napa Valley has to know that all the sense of place they want is really not there for them. You know what I mean? Like the valley floor is kind of the valley floor. The mountains are the mountains, the hills are the hills. Howell Mountain, they're all distinctive, but once you get to the valley floor, man, it was like prune farms and stuff, right? Just like Santa Lucia Highlands, just like some other spots where that one big area has a distinct terroir, but beyond that, it gets a little dicey. Now, on top of that, you have Malbec, which Malbec looks at the concept of terroir and kind of goes, that's cute. Look at you with your sense of place, your terroir. I don't know if you know, but I'm Malbec. And Malbec tends to kind of go like soil, dirt, whatever, buddy. And that blue fruit, floral, urgent character of Malbec will always be front and center. And it doesn't do what Syrah or Pinot Noir does, or even Cabernet to a certain extent. Malbec will take soil and terroir and kind of slough it off, right? So the Argentines and the folks in Mendoza, like the Zuccardis, have to work even harder to convey this sense of place, which they are doing. And they are working like demons to really create a sense of place in Mendoza between, the Valle de Uco, this whole concept of Waltalgerie and all these different, Chacayas, et cetera, all these separate terroirs. So today we have a really special poster child wine, a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant wine from the Zuccardi family, which I think is one of the most representative examples of this new Argentina. All the new oak, all the late picking, etc. It's all going out the window, right? They tried to do the Napa thing. Well, only Napa has the art of picking at 16 and watering back to 15 and creating balance in their wines. But basically the whole world wanted to do this because everybody wants 99 points. They want to sell their wine for $400, right? It's common to think that. It's what you chase, right? But Zuccardis have gone a 180, just like the Catenas have with a lot of their wines and this kind of deal, and they're creating these wonderful, bright, energetic, yet deep, powerful Malbecs in this new style of vinification. So this is Zuccardi's Concreto 2021, all Valle de Uco, Paraje, Altamira is the particular terroir, and this is 100% Malbec, fermented, aged exclusively in concrete eggs. Now, why an egg? Why an egg? An egg is a very distinctive, great shape for fermenting and aging wine. What happens is the egg, you have constant movement, right? Based on tides, pull of the moon. I'm gonna get in like this, kind of whole biodynamics, mumbo jumbo. If you're not into it, then you're not into it. But it is at least half right. I can tell you this. It may not be all right, but it's at least half right with regards to during the fermentation, you constantly have movement of the lees, you constantly have movement of the juice and the solids. So what happens is you're doing this maceration and getting extraction in an egg-shaped vessel without the difficulty, the hardness of the tannins, the pigeage, the punching down, the crunching of the seeds, the more aggressive style of getting extraction in a traditional, fermenting and winemaking method. The eggs are kind of more like, it kind of does it all like holistically and in-house and warm and fuzzy. And when you do that, you should get finer tannins. You get finer, better tannins. You can maintain acidity. You can create a wine with potential for ageability, but without the wine being overly tannic or aggressive with regards to tannins, either from wood tannins or seed tannins. So that's what the Zuccardis are doing here. They're, again, working like bandits to create this new style of Malbec, which it's beautiful. You get the florals, you get the purples, but you also, and this isn't from oak, you're getting these lead pencil characters, you're getting graphite, you're getting spice, you're getting, the word minerality gets strangled around, probably way too much, but you are getting like a stoniness, and it's not from the concrete. This is open poured concrete, actually. These aren't lined, at least they didn't used to be. So if they're lined now, sorry, but before when they started the program, they weren't lined. So you get this pure expression, you get this better exchange with the environment when this wine's getting produced. So it all sounds, like I said, it sounds a little bit like witchcraft or something, but there is some truth to this. Tides, the pull of the moon, how it impacts the juice, how the liquid settles, unsettles, how it spins, how it moves. This is all relevant, and just lets you know how hardcore these cats are getting with regards to creating the finest wine they can possibly do. This isn't like $10 BS Malbec, with tanks, oak staves, chips, blah, blah, blah. This isn't grocery store. This is super enlightened, high-end winemaking at some pretty sensational prices. So, The word I hadn't talked about yet with regards to this wine is tension. And there's a purposeful tension here. They want this tension. They do not want the wine to be like all, right? They don't want that. They don't want the wine too easy. They want focus. They want verticality. They want this hum and this vibrancy in the wine, which Malbec can give you, but when it's picked too late, Malbec will tend to lie down a little bit. And here they're doing just the opposite of that. They're creating this tension, this energy, this sparkle in the wine, this focus, attention to detail, this precision that Malbec didn't have 10 years ago, frankly. So this is groundbreaking stuff. How groundbreaking? Well, there's only a handful of wineries doing it, and the results are impressive. How impressive? Well, take this into account. Triple 95 points. We're talking Suckling, we're talking Venice, and we're talking Luis Gutierrez at robertparker.com. 3 very divergent palates, all focused on the same thing, all thinking the exact same thoughts about the wine, right? Very simple. Not only that, Spectator Top 100, right? So now you got like 4 major pundits in the house, all going 95 plus on this bottle of wine that didn't see a stitch of oak. So it's not fancy. Oh, it's fancy, all right, but it's the new fancy, which is just like the old fancy. Everything old fancy is new fancy again. Anyway, $30 for this wine, sensational value for what's in the bottle, and really the new face of Malbec in Mendoza. And quite the exciting face indeed.